fans, welcome to the Winking Complex for today's North Atlantic Conference Championship, featuring the Terriers of Thomas College and the Eagles of Husson University. The NCAA North Atlantic Conference and Husson University promote good sportsmanship by the student-athletes, coaches, and spectators at today's contest. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, racial, or sexist comments or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student-athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from the Winking Complex. At this time, let's meet the starters for today's contest. First, for the visiting Terriers, a sophomore midfielder from Winslow, Maine, number 1, Leah Knight. A junior forward from Dexter, Maine, number 2, Avery Herrick. A freshman midfielder from Belfast, Maine, number 4, Kara Richards. A freshman defender from Skowhegan, Maine, number 6, Riley Enright. A junior midfielder from Gardner, Maine, number 9, Julia Rennie. A freshman midfielder from Norwich, Maine, number 10, Paige Gilbert. A junior defender from Oxford, Maine, number 11, Molly Littlefield. A senior defender from Belfast, Maine, number 14, Casey Falkingham. A junior defender from Corunna, Maine, number 16, Lauren Anderson. A freshman defender from Skowhegan, Maine, number 24, Samantha Tabarge. And a junior goalkeeper from Auburn, Maine, number 42, Elise Cyphers. Thomas is under the direction of head coach Andrea Tabarge, and she's assisted by Brooke Haskell, Mackenzie Oberholzer, Allie Layton, and Christy Dennis. And now, the starting lineup for the Husson University Eagles. A senior from Westbrook, Maine, number 00, Kimmy Goddard. A freshman from Pittston, Maine, number 2, Leah Bouchard. A freshman from North Conway, New Hampshire, number 7, Tessa Capizzoli. A sophomore from Winthrop, Maine, number 8, Maddie Perkins. A senior from Old Town, Maine, number 10, Tegan Blackie. A junior from Ossipee, New Hampshire, number 13, Allison Drew. A sophomore from Pittsfield, Maine, number 16, Ella Louder. A junior from Winslow, Maine, number 22, Carly Ramsdale. A freshman from Saco, Maine, number 24, Faith Tillotson. A sophomore from Winthrop, Maine, number 27, Abby Ross. And a senior from Naples, Maine, number 28, Julia Murch. The Eagles are coached by Caitlin Goloff, and she's assisted by Amanda DeHaves. Fans, at this time, we ask you please rise and honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Substitution correction for the Terriers. A freshman forward from Lincolnville, Maine, number 12, Claudine Weber.
Live from the campus of Husson University, we are here for today's North Atlantic Conference Field Hockey Final between the number 2 seed Thomas Terriers and the number 1 seed Husson University Eagles. I'm Ryan Barnes, joined alongside Zethan Moss. And Zethan, we are in for a good one today.
Yeah, absolutely. These two teams, the top of the NAC this year, and it's going to be a great battle right in front of us. And I think these two teams, they've both got a lot to prove, both back in the North Atlantic Conference for the first time in field hockey after competing in the New England Collegiate Conference for a few years. That obviously dissolving, and now field hockey becoming part of the North Atlantic Conference. And the Eagles, the two-time champions, back-to-back, trying to make it 3 in a row right here.
Of course, as you mentioned, both teams coming in from the New England Collegiate Conference. And both teams yesterday having pretty good wins. Husson taking a win over University of Maine Farmington, and Thomas picking up a 9-0 win over SUNY Morrisville, as these 60 minutes will decide who will walk away North Atlantic Conference champions.
And for the Eagles, also, there's a lot more to prove with first-year head coach Caitlin Doloff really trying to cement herself into this program and take over the reins from what was a very successful program for the previous coach.
Of course, Diane Ramsey, a former Husson field hockey and softball coach, and Doloff and assistant Amanda DeHaze have done a really good job keeping the program where it was. As we are just about underway, it's going to be Husson starting off with it, attacking left or right. In the middle now is Tessa Capozzoli as we are underway. And that one sent up towards the direction Tegan Blackie, and out of bounds, and quickly ball's turned over to the Thomas Terriers.
And we're going to expect this offense for the Eagles to really run through 7 and 10. Capozzoli and Blackie, they're going to be towards the top of your screen as we start off, and the bottom in the second half. Really look for them to do it, along with Maddie Perkins, number 8, is going to control the ball movement in the middle of the field.
Coming down the close side here is Leah Knight, trying to work through a couple defenders, draws a foul, and will keep possession. Look like that one is on Ramsdale. Here's Herrick down the sideline, has that taken away, and Ramsdale will get it to the middle for Capozzoli before losing it to Kara Richards. Foul called on Capozzoli, and Thomas will keep possession.
And for these Terriers, again, it's going to also run through number 9, Julia Rennie, who's had an outstanding year, notching 40 goals over the course of 19 games. Trying to make that a bigger number here today and help the Terriers out.
As Tatiana Rock chased that one down to the corner, let that go out of bounds as that was off Husson's stick. Thomas will start their attack as they'll fight for it. Rennie working the sideline, has it taken away by Blackie into the middle. And that's back to the stick of Perkins. As she gets out to Murch, now to Blackie. Centering pass intended for Capozzoli's no good, taken away by Casey Falkingham. And a foul is called on Blackie. There's Falkingham with it, sending it up the sideline and out of bounds. Husson will keep possession. Capozzoli now with a couple defenders trying to get to an open teammate. Has it taken away by Herrick. Herrick working the sideline, defended by Leah Pouchard. And she loses that one out of bounds, and Husson will take possession.
It's going to be very important to watch the perimeter. Both of these out-of-bounds lines on the near and far side of your screens. It's going to be important to control those. Whoever wins the outside and the boundaries typically is going to win it up the middle and get those goals when they need to.
Both teams did a pretty good job doing that in their respective semifinal matchups. As work the corner with it is Herrick. Drawing a foul, Thomas will keep possession pretty deep into their offensive zone. And a foul called on Tegan Blackie. Falkingham with it, trying to center it in, trying to get it towards Rennie, and that's a foul. And we will have our first penalty corner of the game, just 2 minutes and 54 seconds in, and Thomas has a chance to get tonight's first goal.
Yeah, and absolutely knocking on the door. This is a great opportunity to try to take some of the wind out from the Eagles. And Eagles coming in as the number 1 seed, a lot of confidence, have been a fantastic team, especially against these conference rivals in the Terriers. So a chance to go up early for Thomas. And Big chance.
Sorry, it'll be Littlefield on the insert. And the shot by Tabarch is blocked, but the rebound shot is blocked away. With the rebound is Capsoli trying to clear it out of the zone, sending up towards Blackie. And Husson looking to reverse the field. On the sideline is Blackie, trying to send it to Capsoli, and she connects. Capsoli turning inside and has it poked away and taken back. And sending it down the field is Perkins, down to Blackie, who keeps it in the sideline, trying to center it towards Capizoli. And a foul is called on Husson. Samantha Tabarge with a now 10 goals through 19 games this season. Foul called on Husson. Thomas will maintain possession with about 65 yards to the goal, and that one sent down and recovered in the corner as that was let out by Abby Ross. Ross with it, trying to work it up the sideline, finding Ramsdale. Ramsdale now trying to send it through a couple people, and that is off Terrier and out of bounds. Husson will keep their possession going. Ross's pass intercepted by Richards, but a foul is called on her. Husson will start their attack. Here's Perkins coming down the middle, trying to work her way through a couple defenders, and that one's poked away by Samantha Tabarge. She's been all over the place yesterday in the win over the Mustangs. Here's Rennie with it now. 30 yards to goal. She's working her way through the outside, finding the circle. Trying to work her way through a couple more defenders, and another penalty corner is called as Rennie is fouled.
Well, here's another great opportunity. Kind of got that squandered earlier on in that first penalty corner. Of course, it's a tough task to get it past Kimmy Goddard, but another good chance here and see if they can capitalize with Rennie.
Littlefield on the insert. This one's sent in to Rennie. She takes a shot. That's kicked away by Goddard. And another penalty corner will be called.
Sometimes it is better just to take that other penalty corner. That defense for the Eagles was caught a little bit off guard. Nobody there to really clog up some shooting lanes.
Littlefield on the insert. That's taken by Tabarge. And in the middle now, and the shot is scored. Samantha Tabarge right in the center, pushing it past Goddard, and the Thomas Terriers lead 1-0.
Well, a quick strike, and that's really going to be important. That's going to be the recipe for success for the Terriers today, is to score early, score often. They do it here and not wasting that second chance.
Just 5 minutes and 24 seconds into the game, our first goal is scored. And now working her way through is Avery Herrick. Through a couple defenders, has it poked away by Ramsdale. And after a foul, Eagles will keep possession. That's sent up by Perkins right to the stick of Blackie. As she's working down the sideline, working her way into the circle, trying to get through a couple defenders. And a foul is called on Husson. We will go the other way. That one's sent up and taken by Pouchard as she's working down the sideline, guarded by Rennie. Foul called on Pouchard, looks like. Rennie tries to send it up. After a foul, Thomas will maintain possession. Perkins with it now. After a foul, Eagles keep possession. That one's sent up towards the sideline and taken by Falkingham, who commits a foul and gives the ball back to Husson.
Now is where the Eagles really need to calm down, settle back into their game plan. You know they've got one, and you can't let that early goal get to your head. You just got to respond.
The pass from Perkins up over everyone's head and out of bounds. Foul on Husson. Thomas will keep it. And that's Falkingham trying to send it up. Intercepted by Ramsdell, who's trying to work her way through a couple defenders, trying to start an attack here. Gives it away to Knight as that one finds the stick of Ramsdell right away. Rennie with it. With about 10 yards to goal, working away into the circle, double teamed, and a penalty corner will be called.
Well, the Terriers have been very aggressive. They've been playing a lot up, and it's been paying off. Able to get into their offensive zone a lot and generate those chances. Again, this is our 4th penalty corner on the game already. We're only just about halfway through the first quarter.
Here's the insert from Littlefield. Finding the stick at Tabarge, who already scored one. That one's taken away and sent up by Perkins. Way back with it is Enright. And that one in the direction of Tabarge, but finding Blackie as she starts the attack. Blackie now stopped turning the inside, trying to get that in. Trying to find the stick of Carlock and out of bounds.
Well, that was a great try there. Just out in front a little bit from Carlock. Carlock is very good with the deflections. Blackie's done a great job of sensing those out to try and make that play happen, and just a little bit too out in front. But Eagles still on the offensive side.
It's going to be Ramsdale with it on the sideline. Getting it to Carlock. Has that poked away and recovered by Perkins, who works away into the circle, trying to center it. And a foul's called on her. Tabarge's clear is up to Rennie as the Terriers will start their attack as Rennie works away from left to right with about 30 yards to go. She stops, turns into the middle. Trying to work way into the circle. Here's Herrick. He stops and turns, trying to work away to the inside. And another penalty corner called.
Again, back to that aggressive game plan. It is paying off, and there's not been too much going on in terms of offense within the circle for the Terriers. Aside from the penalty corners, they've done a great job of drawing those fouls to set it up. Again, I think their set pieces from the corner is really where they shine, especially with Remy and T-Barge.
Littlefield once again on the insert. We saw her take every single insert on all the penalty corners last night. Here's a shot from Rennie. And that one will result in another penalty corner.
So we'll do it again, another chance. And Rennie right there got it right to Goddard's face.
And here's the insert to Rennie. Rennie trying to work her way through. Here's her shot. And it's out of bounds. Look like Thomas will maintain possession with about 30 yards to go. Here's Tabarge trying to work it in. And that one rolling out of bounds. And Thomas will take possession once again. Tabarge trying to work it in, has it taken away by Perkins. As she tries to go up the field, gets fouled. And that one skied up, finding the stick of Arsenal. And up to Blackie. Blackie works way into the circle, tries to center it. And a foul's called on Husson, and we will go the other way.
Well, Blackie's showing some frustration after that one. That was a good chance that the Eagles had. They had numbers on the offensive side. And the foul negates that, but still knocking on the door.
Husson with another chance now. That one's sent to Blackie, but out of bounds. And Thomas will take over. Falkenham's clear attempt will result in a Husson foul, and Thomas will keep going. Here's Julia Rennie working her way up the sideline. She tries to center it to Herrick. And after a couple pokes, coming away with it is Gilbert as she works her way into the corner. Another foul called. There's Gilbert in the corner again. Centers it. Here's Herrick. Down to Richards, who shoots. And that one's out of bounds. And another penalty corner called.
Well, that's a great job on defense. Pouchard back there to make sure that did not go all the way in. It got past Goddard. But Pouchard in the back row there to keep it alive, sends it out of bounds, but commits the foul.
Here's the insert to Tabarge. Here's a shot. And the shot again by Littlefield results in yet another penalty corner.
This is where you start to get really uncomfortable as the Eagles. You've been forced back into the defensive zone, which is something you're not used to that really happening at all, save for those games against NESCAC opponents. And now multiple penalty corners in a row.
Here's Tabarge once again. Her shot is in, and the deflection from Falkenham is wide.
So the Eagles will survive again, but it has not been easy.
Up the side now is Murch. Murch will get it to Drew, who draws a foul. Up the sideline now is Blackie. She's working her way through. Anderson trying to send that in. It makes its way into the circle, but recovered by Enright, and that one cleared out. Up the sideline is Gilbert. And she tries to get it to Herrick. And a foul's called. It's going to be Anderson with it. She has that poked away by Murch. And she sends it up. Looking for Capozzoli, who draws a foul, and Husson will restart their attack. Come down the right side now. And stop turning is Tillotson. Working away just barely in the circle, has it taken away and into the corner. And they're going to say that is off the stick of Tillotson, and it'll be Thomas Ball. Tillotson attacking, steals it, centering it towards Blackie, and that one off a couple sticks and out. But the clear attempt from Richards goes out of bounds, and Husson will keep the ball with about a minute and a half to go in the first quarter. Ramsdale's pass resulting in a foul. And that one's taken right back by Husson, and that one lifted by Capozzoli and out of bounds.
Well, Capozzoli was looking like she was going for Blackie, was on a bit of a streak into the center.
Now sent it by Murch. And out of bounds.
A couple of good ideas from the Eagles there to try and net one, but sometimes getting a little too fancy is a little bit too hard to complete. That's why you don't want to do that in a playoff game like this. Just settle down, play fundamental of whatever your sport is, in this case field hockey. Just play the fundamentals like you know so well, and that's the recipe for success.
Ramsdale challenged by Knight, who commits a foul, and she's working her way through her again, drawing another foul. And they're going to tell Husson to restart their attack. Here's the inside pass from Perkins, has that taken away by Tabarj, who's in the corner now. Just looking to waste time, kill the quarter. Triple teamed. And that one's out of bounds off a Husson stick. 10 seconds to go. And Tabarj will work it in the corner as time expires. In the first quarter, after 15 minutes, the Thomas Terriers lead the Husson Eagles 1-0 in the North Atlantic Conference Championship game. We are back here at the Winkin Sports Complex, where after one quarter, the Thomas Terriers lead the Husson University Eagles 1-0. And Thomas, Ethan, has pretty much dominated offensively.
Yeah, they've absolutely been in control possession-wise, and they've been in their offensive zone for the majority of that first quarter. Eagles probably going to try to game plan around that and change up how they're going to operate in this game. And just like I said, go back to the basics. Play how you know you can play and settle down a little bit. And I think this game well within reach for the Eagles, but the Terriers got to stay out in front, stay confident if they want to try to come home with the conference title.
As a foul is called on Thomas. Perkins crossed the 10-yard line into the circle, trying to get something going, has it taken away, and a foul is called on Perkins. It's going to be Falkingham. And her clear off a couple sticks, finding Rennie, who works up the sideline and sends that in towards Herrick. Taken away by the Eagles. Now it's Perkins trying to get something going. Passes it down to Ramsdale, who keeps it in bounds, but right into the stick of Leah Knight. And the Terriers will start their attack out before that one's taken away by Allison Drew. Drew working through the middle. Past a couple of defenders, but has it taken away by Richards. And that's taken away by Perkins. Little hot potato going on, but eventually found by Rennie. And just like that, taken back by Ella Lauder. Lauder trying to work her way through a couple defenders. Draws a foul from Kara Richards. And the Eagles will continue their attack. Up the sideline now is Tegan Blackie. Working her way through. And entering the circle. And has that taken away by Falkingham, who has been all over the place so far today.
Eagles no success in drawing penalty corners yet. Whenever they're in the circle, they've been the ones committing the fouls. That's got to change if you want to generate those offensive chances.
Fight from the middle. One by Perkins as she's trying to get into the circle, but that's taken away by Knight as she starts the clear. And coming up the sideline with it was Gilbert. That's out of bounds off a Husson stick, and sending it in is Anderson. And that's taken right back by Husson, but finding Anderson once again. Eagles now giving it back. Perkins drawing a foul. And the Eagles will have a chance to start their rush. That one's lifted high, out of bounds. And that will go right back to the Terriers.
Now, at this point, those long passes trying to get it up the field to Blackie on the far side have not paid off at all. So if I was on the field, I'd be trying to change that up. Maybe reverse sides of the field, look towards Ramsdell on the near side.
On the side now is Knight trying to work her way through a defender. That one is a foul and will be Eagles ball. Knight with it. Getting it down to Herrick. He's working away into the circle, trying to center it. And that one taken right out of bounds. And the Terriers will keep the ball pretty deep in their offensive zone. That one taken away. And a foul's called, look like on Knight. It's going to be Abby Ross with it. And sent up by Lauder towards Murch, who has that taken away by Richards as she starts the Thomas attack. Foul called. Looks like it could have been on Drew. And Tabarge will take it with about 25 yards to goal. That was sent all the way in front. Herrick's shot resulting in a foul on her. And the Eagles escape that one. Lauder finding Ramsdell on the side. Trying to work her way up. Whiffs on the clear attempt. And taken by Herrick as that one going right back. And that one taken right back and sent all the way up towards midfield, but taken back as a foul is called. DeBarge sending it in. Stop turning is Herrick. Herrick working her way into the circle as that one's cleared out, but a penalty corner called.
Feels like a 2-0 lead here for the Terriers. Should they get this one in the back of the cage is a very commanding lead to own at this point, with the Eagles really being stymied offensively, having a really uncharacteristic first half up to this point.
Here's the insert. Finding the stick of Tabarge. And the fight for it again, and another penalty corner called.
Well, credit to Perkins for really charging up to that. They've gone to Tabarge a lot off the penalty corner. So good read by Perkins to really challenge that and knock it down.
Littlefield back to Tabarge, who gets it up to Rennie. Rennie working her way to the right side, has that poked out of the circle, recovered by Knight. That one sent in. And in the middle now, fight for it. Stop turning was Falkenham, and poked out of the circle by Perkins. And the Eagles will start their rush, trying to work away up the sidelines. Blackie. And that one's taken away by Knight. And that one off a Merchant out of bounds. Gilbert working her way through, trying to center it. And that one out of bounds off the stick of Drew. Tabarge up to Falkenham. She centers it. Here's Rennie with it. Right up. And fight for it. A foul's called on Knight. That'll ruin the offensive chance for the Terriers. As here's Ramsdale with it, trying to get it up towards Tillotson. That one missing and reaching Tabarge, who then gives it to Richards. That one's taken away. And we have a stoppage as we have our first card of the night, as it will be Kara Richards getting a green card on that play. And the Eagles have their first player advantage.
It's going to be really important to capitalize on this chance right here again with Perkins now in control of the ball at midfield. That's where she really gets it done.
And Richards has been one of the players here today who has been in the middle of passes as Blackie works her way up the sideline. Stop, cuts in. It's getting into the zone in front of the net now, and a foul is called on Husson. Tabarge getting up towards Falkingham as that one's sent up the field. And that one's taken, and a foul's called on Herrick. That one's sent towards the side to Ramsdale. Ramsdale with about 40 yards to work with up the sideline. And reaching Tillotson. Tillotson into the circle for Capozzoli. And a foul called on Husson. Tillotson stealing that one, sending it, and another foul on Husson. Seems like any time, Ethan, that Husson gets anywhere near the net, someone commits a foul.
Yeah, absolutely right. It's been very difficult for the Eagles to try to draw those fouls in the circle. I know I said that a little bit earlier, but again, play clean in the circle, try to draw those fouls, get those almost guaranteed offensive chances off of the corner. And they haven't been able to do that today.
That's out of bounds off Blackie. Thomas will keep possession as time in that penalty will be expiring soon. As Thomas is working their way up. Here's Herrick. She has that taken away, but taken right back. Bouchard working her way up the sideline. And that's sent up and intercepted. Richards back on the field. And here's Rennie with it in the middle, working her way down. That one sent out of the reach of Herrick. And it'll be Eagles ball.
Well, that was a great play on the far side by Bouchard to stick with it and get around the defender. Just couldn't quite turn it upfield and get the pass off. And again, with Richards coming in.
Here's Blackie. Working the sideline, defended by Falkenham. Trying to get something going for Husson, as they're about 5.5 minutes from closing the first half scoreless. And another foul called on Husson. Not exactly sure what happened there. But Herrick will take it up the field. Has that taken away by Drew. As a foul is called on Thomas. That one's sent up towards the direction of Blackie. Has it taken by Capozzoli. They have a chance here as it enters the circle in the middle. And that one taken away. Taken away by Knight as she works her way up. Has it poked away. And a foul called on Thomas.
Got to really try to contest those a little bit better. The only players in the circle there was Capozzoli and Tillotson. Or Blackie and Tillotson with Capozzoli trying to get it in.
Perkins poking into the circle. That was Murch poking it off the pass from Perkins. Here's Blackie now with it, trying to get into the circle. A foul called on Thomas. As the Eagles have a pretty good chance here. 4.5 minutes to go, right inside the circle. Here's a shot from Perkins, and another foul called on Husson. Working away up the field now is Richards. Foul called on Murch. It's going to be Tabarich with it, about 55 yards to work with towards the goal. Falconham sending it up the sideline and has it taken away. But a foul's called on Thomas. Husson will have the ball. That was sent up and around and out of bounds.
Again, that long pass up the sideline doesn't pay off, goes out of bounds, back in the hands of the Terriers.
Here's Tabarge with it. Defended by Baker. This one taken away by Perkins. She's working her way through, trying to get a chance here into the circle. And this one brought in by Murch. As she cuts inside, tries to get a shot off. Playing in front of the net, ball's going, and it's in! The Eagles have tied the game at 1 with 2:59 to go in the first half. Avery Baker on the goal, and we have ourselves a tie game.
Well, what a way to stick with it there. Both teams playing outstanding in the circle. Eagles really, really fighting with it. You can tell they wanted that. And Baker diving, just gets it past the goalkeeper for Thomas and Cyphers. And this one's knotted up at 1.
Avery Baker, sophomore out of Farmingdale, Maine. Only 2 goals in the regular season. Her third one now, and could not come at a bigger time.
Absolutely. It's a huge to try to take this one tied at half or even try to take the lead going into the locker room. And what a way to get back into this one.
As that one sent to Falconham. And that's taken away by Arsenal. And work up the sideline. They're going to say Blackie had the assist on the goal. Foul on the Terriers. Eagles have a chance to maybe take the lead before the half. About 2.5 minutes to go.
Almost played with a practice ball there. Can't quite do that.
No, you cannot. Here's Perkins. Up to Murch, trying to send it into the circle. Chasing down to Blackie. And that's poked away by Murch, and a foul's called on her. And we will go the other way. Falkingham has it poked. Poked again. Eagles looking for it, and that's given right to Richards. And the Eagles backing up into their defensive zone. Middle pass, almost intercepted and taken by Herrick. And that one's taken right back, but finding the stick of rock. Foul called on Husson, 1.5 minutes to go in the first half. That's sent in, and chasing it down will be Pouchard. As foul called on Thomas. Husson will take it. Just under 80 seconds to go in the first half. Blackie and Rock in a fight for it. Blackie will commit a foul. Here's Rennie with it now. That one's out of bounds. And the Eagles have a chance with 1 minute left.
Eagles have done a great job in the latter half of the second quarter of keeping the ball away from some of those usual suspects in terms of the Terriers. And that's been a huge part of getting their offensive chances a little bit better down the field, a little bit more, staying in possession in their offensive zone.
Tabarge to Falkingham. Has it taken away but fouled, as the Terriers will keep possession. Here's Tabarge trying to send it in towards Herrick. Has it taken away by Murch. And working the sideline, foul called on Murch. Terriers with the chance, about 20 seconds left. That's out of bounds. Eagles will take the ball. And that one's sent all the way up. Here's Blackie with it. Less than 10 seconds to go. They have a chance if they can get a shot off on time. Here's Blackie entering the circle. Starting past Arsenal. She turns, shoots. And nothing comes of it as we will enter halftime tied 1-1 in the North Atlantic Conference Field Hockey Championship game.
Back here out of the half here in Bangor for the second half of the North Atlantic Conference Championship game here in field hockey. Currently tied 1-1 between the Terriers and the Eagles. Ethan Moss alongside Ryan Barnes here for this second half. We saw the Eagles close out that half with a late goal by Avery Baker, put them on the board. And what's going to be an exciting second half. Right now, Perkins working with it on the near side into the corner, trying to clear it upfield to Blackie. Can't do so. That's T-Barge taking it. Now to the near side in Murch. Here's Rennie with it, coming up towards midfield, working on Blackie, tries to get around, but it'll go out of bounds. Last touch by Blackie. Here's Falkingham to send it in. Eyes it up towards midfield, but taken away. Here's Perkins now. Over to Capozzoli. Pass up to Blackie. Corrals it right along that sideline. Lots of room to work with. Eagles on a charge here early in the second half. That one poked away, but a foul called against the Terriers. That was Falkingham committing it. And the Eagles will have it right outside of the circle. Going to give it to Perkins. Swings it out wide, trying to get it in. That one will go out of bounds. Last touch by Blackie. Just a lot of congestion there right in front of the cage. Taken right back by Tillotson toward the top of the circle, trying to get a Capozzoli out in front. And that'll go out of bounds. Eagles will have it again right in front of the circle. Perkins at the 25-yard line gets it into Murch. And that'll swing outside, out of bounds. Ramsdell will be the one to take it in on the far side. Ramsdell to Perkins, back to Ramsdell. Trying to get it in, knocked down. Eagles will have it right outside. Still fighting with it is Tillotson, and finally a corner for the Eagles, their first of the game, and it comes in the third quarter.
Eagles had so many chances inside the circle in the first half, just not a single penalty corner call going their way. Terriers had close to 5 in the first half, and the Eagles had the first one of the second with the chance to take the lead.
Quick strike here, and a great opportunity as Tillotson will insert. Tillotson will give it up to the far side. Capozzoli now looking to Blackie. Blackie loads up and deflected, knocked down by Cyphers. Terriers will stand against their first penalty corner of the game. And now trying to clear it, but that one handled by Blackie. Now to Barge, gets it taken away. Here's Blackie now trying to get it back into the circle to Capozzoli. Kicked away by Cyphers. Still fighting with it. To Barge, sends it to the near side and out of bounds into that corner. Eagles will have it right there. It's Perkins again. On a charge into the circle, working against this tough Terriers defense. Flicked over the middle and knocked away. Another penalty corner coming for the Eagles.
You can see the difference in play from the Eagles from the first to the second half. They are definitely much more aggressive in the offensive zone, and this resulting in the second penalty corner within about a minute and a half.
It's Tillotson again. Gonna send it shorter to Blackie, who loads up, tries to get into the middle just behind Ramsdell. And that penalty corner will go to waste yet again for the Eagles. And now a chance to clear for the Terriers. Barge will swing it back into the circle. Blackie trying to challenge that, but handled well. Now Falkingham sends it up the field. There's Gilbert, taken away by Perkins. Perkins still on a run, is fouled, and she'll have it with about 20 yards to the goal. Swings it over to Blackie. Sticks with it. Perkins collects it. Now into the circle, gets taken away out of bounds. Eagles will have it. It's going to be Perkins to send it in from the 25-yard line. Surveying her options, trying to bring it in. A lot of congestion. Still with it. Now into the circle. Perkins all on her own off the pole. Blackie is there trying to get it, and it commits the foul. Perkins trying to do it all herself there, right off the pole. A great chance and what would have been a spectacular goal from Perkins. The Eagles trying to answer right back, but Rennie takes that one away from Murch. Now down to the near side. Run along the sideline, working against Bouchard. And Louder still with it is Rennie. That one deeming herself for Murch. And finally out of bounds. Still for the Eagles ball, trying to send it upfield to Capozzoli just behind. Now here's Richards with it. Capozzoli sticking with it. And a foul called against the Terriers. It's going to be Blackie coming up to collect it.
Going back on the play by Perkins, dancing her way through a number of defenders and just mere inches from giving the Eagles the lead.
That one taken away on the far side. Knight doing a great job on a run now on the outside, working against Ross. Continuing to stick with it, trying to get through Drew. And now Perkins will send it up the field to Capozzoli, who can't handle it. And now with defensive numbers are the Terriers, just trying to clear this one with Enright. Gets it over to Tabarge. Now Richards will send it up the field, just out of the reach of Herrick. Corrals it and is trying to work through a tough Eagles defense. It's looked much better in the last about 20 minutes of play. And a foul called against the Terriers. Louder trying to clear it. Is fouled again by Herrick. And she'll send it to the far side. Now Ramsdell. Here's a run from Tillotson on the outside. Now to Capozzoli trying to clear it. Misses on the centering pass. A foul called on the Terriers, or on the Eagles. Terriers with a chance to clear. Intercepted by Ramsdell, trying to get it into the circle. And again, Tabarge is there. Fighting for it at midfield. Drawing the foul is Ross. And immediately taken back by the Terriers. Here's Ross now on the far side. Gets it in. Tillotson trying to get it to Blackie. That one intercepted by Falkingham. Blackie fighting with it. Capozzoli there as well. And finally a foul called on Capozzoli. That one knocked down by Perkins. And a foul called against her on that play. Again, it'll be Tabarge trying to clear it upfield for the Terriers. It is important to note, Eagles' only conference loss of the year was against Thomas College Terriers, losing 3-1 here in Bangor in early October. Here's Blackie now, trying to get it into the circle. Has Capozzoli, deflection by Capozzoli, and looks like this one was waved off. No deflection from Capozzoli. And the Terriers trying to clear it, get it upfield and out of bounds. Another close opportunity for the Eagles.
That one looked awful close and just wasn't able to get the deflection on it. And we continue playing.
Now here's Perkins, loses the touch on it. Richards is there to pick it up, and Perkins stops that attempt, but commits the foul. Now Tabarge gets it upfield to Rennie. Rennie works past one defender, still on a good run. Past three now into the circle. Here's Rennie, gets the pass off, and that one taken away. There's Herrick, couldn't get it, looking for the foul, doesn't get the call. Now Eagles on the attack. Here's Arsenal losing the touch. Baker trying to challenge Tabarge there. And there's Murch taking it right back. Now Arsenal on the near side. Baker and Blackie in the circle. Going to try to pass it into Blackie, taken away by Tabarge. Going to go back into the corner. Trying to work against Blackie and get out this clear. Foul was called on Blackie there. Intercepted right there by Arsenal, but again, another foul. Sent out of bounds. Was trying to turn that around was Backelder. Gets this one into Perkins. Now Perkins into the circle, has Blackie out in front. Still fighting for a good touch. Hooks it in. And shot, saved, knocked away, and finally put back in. Avery Baker there to send it home, her second goal of the game. And the Eagles take a 2-1 lead here with just under 4 minutes or 5 minutes to play here in the third quarter.
Baker matching her season total of goals in the conference championship game. First year as a field hockey player. We saw her over at Boucher Field on the women's lacrosse team. She comes in here, field hockey, and scoring both goals. Eagles lead 2-1 now.
Blackie there signaling to her teammates to settle down a little bit. Now you've got the lead. Don't play too comfortable. Don't let up on some of this pressure that has been working against the Terriers. As now the Terriers trying to work with it on the near side. Blackie is there to collect it after the foul. And back on the charge. Officially, that goal goes to Carly Ramsdell, not Avery Baker. But a great play either way as Ramsdell puts the Eagles up 2-1.
They're going to give the assist to Arsenal on that one, her second of the season. Ramsdell's third goal.
Knocked down by Blackie as they have it within the 10 now. Trying to get it back over to Arsenal. Just loses the touch. And a foul called. Going to come the other way with the Terriers now. Perkins has it at the 40-yard line. Sends it upfield looking for Blackie, who knocks it down, is in the corner. Going to try to work it across towards the middle. That one just goes wide of Arsenal. Now Eagles have it with Ramsdell. Shoots it upfield. And intercepted. Now trying to come back the other way is Richards and the Terriers. And just out of the reach of Gilbert. Murch tries to get it into Blackie, but that's taken away by Richards. Baker tried to track that one down. Now getting in front. There's Perkins to poke it away. Now 2.5 minutes left to play here in this third quarter. Perkins again goes to Blackie on the near side. Still trying to get it into that circle, running around, and that's taken away by Rennie. Doesn't get past Perkins. Now Perkins with the shot in, deflected, and knocked down by Cyphers. Now here's Gilbert trying to come back the other way, working against Bouchard, who pokes it out of bounds.
Good poke there just to get the rest of your defense settled in to let everyone catch up and get ready for this next rush.
Now there's Falkingham sending it in, taken away again by Bouchard. Now Louder into the circle, trying to work with it against Rennie. And Rennie will foul Louder. Got to clear it here if you're the Eagles. Don't want to let up another goal. Try to keep this 2-1 lead going into the fourth quarter. Knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Perkins on the near side. As it'll be Falkingham trying to send it in. Right there to intercept is Murch. Now they're going to reverse sides of the field. This time over the middle. Trying to get it to Arsenal. But just out in front. Now on the far side, making a good run is Knight. Knight working against Ross. Now against Drew, into the circle. Trying to get a shot off, and a penalty corner awarded to the Terriers. Their first of the second half comes with 51 seconds left to play in this third quarter, and a chance to tie it up here.
Husson has dominated the chances so far in this third quarter. This is Thomas's real first chance at maybe scoring a goal.
Littlefield will insert. Littlefield will send it up to Tabarge. And quick pressure from the Eagles now in. Wide. Still knocked down. And a foul called against the Terriers. That was Herrick with the foul. The Eagles now a chance to clear clock ticking as we approach 30 seconds left to play here in this third quarter. Sent upfield by Murch. Baker can't collect it. Now here come the Terriers back the other way. Knocked out of bounds. Good coverage there from Baker to force Littlefield to get it out of bounds, and the Eagles have it. Now just about 15 seconds left to play. They'll knock it around to waste some clock, but here's a good chance for Arsenal. Just can't quite corral it. Now Baker knocked down by Perkins. And time will expire here on this third quarter. The Eagles currently with the lead 2-1 over the Terriers as we get into the fourth and final quarter of this North Atlantic Conference Championship final. Back out of the break here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. 15 minutes left to go to crown the North Atlantic Conference champion Here, Eagles leading it 2-1 over the Terriers. They will get the ball first, as it'll be Rennie and company trying to answer back after a third quarter goal by Carly Ramsdell to put the Eagles up. Now 15 minutes left. In the middle of the field, working with it is Tillotson, who gets foul or commits the foul on Knight. Now to Barge trying to send it upfield to Rennie. Rennie working against Perkins. And now Tillotson trying to get it over to Rennie. Now Capozzoli again trying to intercept. And the Terriers no luck so far trying to get it upfield. Knocked down this time by Murch, who's going to collect it and send it to Capozzoli. Knocks it wide, has Blackie out in front, got to chase it down on the near side. Blackie gets by one defender, is going to center it over, and just behind Tillotson, who can't bring it in. That'll go out of bounds, and now on the far side, it'll be Littlefield and the Terriers. Now here's Ramsdell in the center of the field, taking it back from the Terriers. Barge will send it wide to Gilbert. Gilbert loses the touch. But last touched by the Eagles. It'll be Falkingham again trying to send it upfield, but knocked down by Perkins. Perkins now with it, working against Littlefield, gets it by. Here's Capozzoli now to the far side, working it around. It's going to be a foot race to the corner, one that Knight will win. And Capozzoli will knock it out of bounds. Now here's Perkins trying to get it over to the middle, and Capozzoli taken away by Tabarge. Now Gilbert on a good run, lots of space. And a foul called against her. Eagles will have it. Just at midfield, it'll be Murch. As Murch will send it upfield to Drew. Trying to reverse sides of the field as she gets it up to Ramsdell. That one taken away by Knight. Now Knight with a good chance on the far side, working against Drew. Ross goes down. And the Terriers will still have it in Rennie, working against Louder, now to Ramsdell. Here's Rennie on a good run, making her way just outside of the circle, only two teammates in. And a foul called against Rennie. Eagles will take it with a chance to clear in Louder. Louder flicks it up the field to Tillotson. Now Tillotson trying to work around Littlefield. Knocks it out of bounds. Last touch by Littlefield. And taking it in is Ramsdell, trying to run with it as much as he can. And a foul called against Ramsdell. Now here's DeBarge. Reversing sides of the field now. Here's Richards. Loses the touch. Now Rennie has it. Runs into Perkins, and a foul called on Perkins. DeBarge backs it up a little bit. We'll send it in. Perkins knocks it down, fighting with it, and drawing the foul on Richards. Now Louder gets it upfield, trying to get it to Blackie, but tough defense as that one's taken away by Falkingham. Now Richards tries to flick it in to Rennie. And now with a good chance, here's the Terriers on a run. That was Herrick. Now here's Williams, or Gilbert. And that one goes out of bounds. Now Louder, a chance to clear. Eagles facing a lot of pressure so far in this fourth quarter. Rennie takes that one right back, trying to get it over the middle. Rennie on a good run, but Perkins there to take it away. and a penalty corner awarded. Rennie had wide open spaces in front of her. Herrick as well was open. And Perkins comes in to take it away. Does commit the foul, but likes the chances better on a penalty corner than two wide open players. Here's Littlefield. Gets it into Tabarge. Looks to Rennie. Now Rennie trying to load up for a shot. And that one, another foul from Perkins. Again, Littlefield will insert it. This time Rennie goes to the far side of the circle. Knight comes and takes her place on the near side as they go back to Rennie right at the top of the circle. Takes the shot, knocked away by Goddard. And out of bounds, the Eagles survive the penalty corner. Goddard loving it. Now here's Tabarge trying to get it back in. This one is almost saved from going out of bounds by Herrick. The Eagles take back possession, a chance to clear. Really trying to survive a lot of pressure from the Terriers.
Terriers have been getting chances, not able to convert on many.
Now Falkingham sends it wide and out of bounds. Now Louder, knocked down by Gilbert. Now Gilbert trying to get it back in, has it taken away by Bouchard, and a foul called on Gilbert. Still congested right there in the middle as the Eagles finally get it past the 25-yard line. Terriers will reset. Swings it out wide to Littlefield. Now Capozzoli with a great challenge, takes it away. Perkins is there to collect it as they're working now on the far side. Perkins on a good run, tries to get it past Tabarge. She does, into the circle. Perkins all on her own, gets it knocked away, but a penalty corner awarded to the Eagles. Perkins doing it all yet again, draws this corner.
The Eagles are doing what they need to do. Up one goal, they're killing time on the defensive end and just working up the field. They're getting chances.
Now 8.5 minutes to play. 2-1 is the score. Eagles trying to go up 3-1 here as they send it near side to Blackie. Now swings it out wide to Murch. That one goes out of bounds, just wide of the post. Cypher's there to kick it away. Now Falkingham. Shard draws the foul, as it'll be Murch to take it right about the 40-yard line. Blackie almost with the interception there. Now the Terriers trying to take it back. Shard right there, working against Rennie. Draws the foul, but Perkins is there to intercept the pass. Now going to reverse sides of the field, tries to get into the middle to Capozzoli. Capozzoli gets it over to Tillotson, loses the touch, and a foul called on Tillotson. Going to come back the other way. Now working with it again is Herrick, trying to get a good run on the outside against Perkins. Got to get past Ross as well, but loses the touch out of bounds. Trying to get it over the middle. Playing pinball. Rennie is there to collect it. Rennie on a good run, working against Louder and Ross. Trying to get it into the circle with no help at the moment. Now the help arrives. Perkins is there to poke it away, and a foul called on the Eagles. Terriers still have it right at the edge of the circle. And a foul called. Knight with that one, as Louder will be the one to clear right at the top of the circle. Now Ramsdell tries to get it up the field. They're going to play some quick passes. Here's Arsenault with it. Blackie is wide open on the far side. Arsenault decides to send it over. And Baker tries to get into Blackie just behind her, and that'll go out of bounds. Just about 6 minutes left to play here. Here's Murch. Murch trying to get it into the circle, has that one knocked down by Backelder. Finally poked out of bounds. Slanker was trying to turn it up the field, and Murch pokes it out. Now Falkenham will take it. Gonna send this one, trying to get it up to Herrick, who collects it and draws the foul. So again, it'll be Falkenham trying to find an open teammate. Knocked down by Perkins. And the Eagles reversing the field now. Perkins trying to work her way past midfield and is fouled. Going to have to retreat a few steps. But is content to take some time off the clock now, inside 5 minutes left to play. Here's Drew feeding it over to Arsenault. Now Baker trying to challenge. That one sneaks out of bounds. Last touched by the Terriers. Now Ramsdell with it, inserting just about the 25-yard line. Trying to dribble through the defense, but taken away by Rennie. And a foul by Perkins on that run by Rennie. That will be Perkins with a green card, so the advantage now to the Terriers. Now up a player.
Green card issued to Husson's number 8, Maddie Perkins.
Now sent up the field, just out in front. Ross is there to intercept. Gilbert trying to corral it as well as she does on the far side, working it around Ross, now into the circle. Good chance just behind Rennie. This time, a penalty corner called. Richards was there to draw it. And the Terriers knocking on the door here for a good response. 4:16 left to play.
This is where that green card may come back to bite Husson, as Perkins has been the one primarily stopping Thompson's chances and getting the ball out of the zone.
Again, Littlefield will insert. Goes to DeBarge. DeBarge loads up. Knocked away by Goddard. Kimmy Goddard again with a good stand. She's put in great work in goal for the Eagles. Seven saves on 8 shots for the senior keepers, and a key part of these conference titles for the Eagles, looking for their 3rd straight here with about 3.5 minutes left to claim that 3rd straight title. The Terriers aren't done yet. Arsenault has it off the foul by the Terriers. Eagles on a good offensive chance. Here's Ramsdell. Will send it back. Gonna try to waste some clock. Ross mishandles it and gets it off. Here's Rennie with it now. Rennie on a good run. Trying to work around this defense into the circle. Gets that one knocked away. And a foul called against the Eagles just outside of the circle. It's going to be Knight taking it, working against Baker. Gets it past. There's Drew to intercept it and knock it down. Now Arsenault gets it over to Baker. Baker gets it past Littlefield. On a good run are the Eagles into Arsenault. Have the numbers. Blackie way out in front and intercepted by Falkenham. A great play there. And Arsenault going to take it as the numbers get back for the Terriers. Now Murch back into Arsenault. They're going to swing it out wide to Ramsdell. Just inside 2.5 minutes left to play. Perkins comes back onto the field. And a foul against the Terriers. gives it right to Perkins on the far side. Going to swing it out wide to Ramsdell. Knocked again by Perkins. Perkins trying to get it into the circle, and a foul called on the Terriers. Perkins takes it quickly, working her way around, trying to get past Knight. She does, almost loses the touch out of bounds. And a last touched by the Terriers, so the Eagles will have it. Now, clock is ticking inside 2 minutes left to play here in the North Atlantic Conference Championship Final. Perkins will send it back over to Ramsdell, who's working against Herrick. Poked out of bounds, and this clock is going to continue to run down the drain. Terriers need to try and get this ball back. Eagles playing possession. Perkins gets it into the circle just wide. Blackie trying to corral it. Working away around the defense, gets it through the middle, knocked away. Now Ramsdell trying to get a shot off, fighting with it against Knight. Knocked down. Now Rennie, chance to take it out of the circle. They do. And they survive that attacking attempt from the Eagles. And a long one at that. Now inside a minute left to play. Rennie, and that one's taken away by Baker. Now to Barge, trying to get it up the field. Blackie knocks it down. Now Blackie going to play possession on the far side. Gets knocked down. And a foul committed. Eagles stick with it. And now here's Murch. 35 seconds left to go as Perkins takes it. Running it down the far side into that corner. Inside, 30 seconds left to play. The Winkett comes alive. Perkins in the corner, gonna dribble it out now. 15 seconds working in double coverage. Foul called on the Eagles. 13 seconds left to go. Inside 10, knocked down. Here's Rennie on a run, but it's not gonna be enough time. 5 seconds left to play. Knocked away by Louder. Louder gets it done, and for the third straight year, the Eagles have won the conference title, this time in the North Atlantic Conference. The three-peat is alive, and we're going to ship up to Boston.
Great way towards the end for Husson to just shut down the Terriers' chances, getting the ball up in their offensive zone, keeping possession, and completely flipping the script from the pretty much most of the first half, and from the final, say, 38 minutes of the game, they just straight up dominated possession, controlled everything, didn't allow a single goal, and they find themselves on top of the North Atlantic Conference.
And they're going to wear those crowns with pride. Again, a three-peat, always so hard to pull off. This Thomas College team had it right with them towards the end, and an impressive showing from the Terriers. Coming away with a 2-1 victory are the Eagles, the North Atlantic Conference champions, first year back in field hockey, and the first title for head coach Caitlin Doloff. Well, for Zethan Moss, Ryan Barnes, an incredible game here today on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. We want to thank you for tuning in. We're going to keep it here for just a little bit as we get ready for the trophy presentation and all of that, but we're going to step it offside, off of air, and just let the cameras roll here from Bangor. Once again, one final time, the Eagles winning the North Atlantic Conference 2-1 over the Terriers.
The championship award ceremony. Presenting the awards is North Atlantic Conference Commissioner Marcella Zalat. On behalf of Husson University and the North Atlantic Conference, thank you friends and family and fans for supporting the student athletes and teams here today. And congratulations to all the players and coaches of the 2024 tournament teams. We begin our recognizing the all-tournament team. From Farmington, Paris House. From Farmington, Elizabeth Kendall. From SUNY Morrisville, Emma Noller. From SUNY Morrisville, Kate Walters. From Husson, Kimmy Goddard. From Thomas College, Samantha Tabarge. From Husson, Maddie Perkins. From Thomas, Casey Fockingham. From Husson, Avery Baker. From Thomas, Avery Herrick. And the final member of the all-tournament team and the North Atlantic Conference Field Hockey Tournament MVP is from Husson, Ella Lauder. Congratulations to the all-tournament team. And now, the presentation of the North Atlantic Conference Championship Trophy. Congratulations to the coaches and captains and players from Husson. Please come forward to accept your awards. This concludes the awards ceremony. Please drive home safely. Thank you.